Real life science.
Roy, hit it up.
Yeah, so first up, astronomers have confirmed discovery of a moon-forming disk around a young exoplanet. So, prior to this story, I'm unaware of astronomers finding any sort of exomoons around planets. The sort of technology we have at the moment couldn't sort of resolve that sort of thing. But 2 years ago, astronomers spotted an apparent circumplanetary disk. So this is like the debris field around a planet outside of our solar system, but they couldn't be certain. But now follow-up observations of protoplanet PDS-70C made by the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array, or ALMA, in Chile were key to the confirmation. So this circumplanetary disk is roughly 500 times larger than Saturn's rings. And as this new paper points out, the amount of mass in the disk could form up to 3 exomoons the size of Earth's moon. I think it's an exciting finding, but the team's not done with this system quite yet. They're already looking forward to the ESO's extremely large telescope, which is currently being built in Chile's Atacama Desert. Using that tool, astronomers are hoping to acquire even higher resolution scans and build three-dimensional views that can show gas moving through the circumplanetary disk, which I think is awesome.
That is fantastic. Katie.
So, this is a story released by Scott Manley asking the question, is the Apollo 11 Eagle Lunar Ascent stage still orbiting the moon? That is the ascent stage that brought Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin back up from the moon's surface back in 1969. It has long been presumed to have crashed into the moon because the lunar gravitational field is non-spherical. And so objects in a low circular lunar orbit tend to see their orbits become more eccentric over time, with the perilune, the lowest point in the orbit, becoming lower and lower until it does cause an impact with the lunar surface. This happened to the Apollo 15 and 16 deployable sub-satellites. They impacted with the moon. But a Silicon Valley amateur space fan decided to try and find a potential crash site for the Apollo 11 capsule. He modeled the orbit with an open source application created by NASA called GMAT, the General Mission Analysis Tool. This is essentially a utility that allows you to design missions and see the kind of orbital characteristics of missions as time progresses. So he built a simulation using the records of the capsule's orbit. What he found was that in the model, the perilune, again, that's the lowest point in the orbit, gets closer and closer to the surface for a time, with each orbit seeing it drop a little more. But then after a period, it starts to rise again. And what he discovered was that in his model, at least, it would never actually impact the moon. He even tested this with about 100 objects with similar properties to that of the Apollo 11 capsule, and the results were consistent with the original parameters. So it is possible, unconfirmed but possible, that the Apollo 11 Eagle capsule is still orbiting the moon to this day.
That is amazeballs. And I would love to see, we're going back now. We're, Artemis program. We're going back. I would love to see somebody pull up the stuff and say, well, actually, we had to do a double check of the area to make sure because we're sending, people back there. And whoa, there's this. Holy shit. We should probably grab that and bring it back and put it in a museum. That's totally amazeballs. Tweaked, you're up.
Yeah, there was another video out by Anton Petrov. And guys, if you like this kind of stuff, you should really subscribe to his channel. I mean, this dude is so smart, my brain hurts trying to watch his stuff. This dude is like next level. There was a simulation run about how an alien civilization could expand across the galaxy per se. And what they did is they didn't want to use, any engines or anything that didn't exist already. So they basically built generation ships and set certain parameters where they could only jump 10 light years at a time, and they could only travel for 300,000 years at a time before the ships would quote unquote fail. And what they found is that within billions of years, that civilization would expand throughout the whole galaxy. And when you watch the simulation, what it reminded me of really was the bubble on Elite Dangerous, how it's all lit up in that one area where civilization just expanded. And it's a very cool simulation. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of formulas that he uses, things like that. We are a type 2 civilization right now. Well, actually, we're more of a type 1 right now, where we take the resources of the Earth.
Whoa, hold on. I gotta clarify. I don't want to put out anything wrong. We are a type 0.5 civilization. When we get to the point where we can harness all of the energy that is hitting the Earth and get rid of fossil fuels, we will be a type 1 civilization. Once we get to the point that we can harness all of the energy coming from our star, i.e. either A, through making a Dyson sphere, or B, through some other complicated process of harnessing all of the energy from the star, we will be a type 2 civilization. When we get to the point where we can harness all of the energy of our galaxy, we will be a type 3 civilization. So we're a type 0.5 according to what scientists say right now, civilization. Sorry, go ahead, Tweaked.
Oh, it's all good. He didn't break it down quite that far. But yeah, we basically what we need to do is we need to get to be the point, the type 2, where you use all the resources of your galaxy. And it was a very good video. I mean, it's about 12 minutes long, I believe it was. It's not that terribly long. And it's really fascinating to watch. Now, he was saying that this simulation doesn't seem to hold water in our galaxy, the Milky Way, because to this point, we aren't getting any signals from the center of the galaxy. And he brought up a point, too, that a lot of the scientists' studies show that the center of the galaxy is actually the most dangerous, because you get a lot of the, I guess we'd call it space phenomenon, the black hole energy and all that kind of stuff that makes things hard to exist out there. But check it out. We'll have it posted in the show links. It's a very interesting video.
Anton Petrov can always be counted on to put out phenomenal scientific content. Anton Petrov, Scott Manley, and Isaac Arthur are my 3 science/futuristic/math nerds, and I fucking love them. So phenomenal stuff from all of our cast tonight on real life science.